Most people think you need a huge income to build a property portfolio, but that's not what actually holds people back. The real reason most investors get stuck on one property has nothing to do with salary and everything to do with how they think about deposits and equity. Today, I'm going to break down step by step how everyday Australians are using equity to move faster, even while interest rates are high. No hype, no shortcuts, just how the numbers work. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some investors are buying again while others are still saving. Let's start the path with most people follow. They save for years, they finally scrape together a deposit, they buy one investment property, and then they stop. Not because they want to, but because they think they had to start saving from scratch all over again. So the timeline usually looks like this: save for years, buy one property, wait another 5 or 6 years, and hope prices don't run away again. And during that wait period, the market kept moving. Prices rise, deposits get bigger, and the goalposts shift. This is why property feels so hard for most people. Not because it's impossible, but because the strategy is so slow. Here's the belief that causes the problem: every property needs a brand new 20% deposit. That idea alone adds years to an investor's journey. Because instead of letting assets work together, everything becomes dependent on savings. And savings, even good savings, are slow. But what most people don't realize is this: once you own a property, the deposit for the next one doesn't always come from your bank account. It can come from the property itself. This is where equity changes the game. Now, let's put real numbers on this, because equity sounds confusing until you actually see it. Say you buy an investment property for $600,000. You put in a 10% deposit, so that's $60,000 plus buying cost. That means your loan is roughly $540,000. Now, fast forward a few years. Let's say the market does what the property markets tend to do over time. After 5 years, that property is now worth 765,000. Here's where the equity comes in. You still owe around $540,000 on the loan. Maybe slightly less if rents have covered repayments. So the equity is simply 765,000, which is the property value, minus 540,000 for the loan, equals 225,000 in equity. Now, that 225,000 isn't cash sitting on your bank account, but it does exist on paper. And this is where most people get tripped up. Banks don't let you use all of that equity. Most lenders are comfortable letting you borrow up to 80% of the property's value without risk. So let's work that out. 80% of 765 is 612. If your loan is currently 540, the usable equity looks like this: 612 minus 540 equals 72,000 in usable equity. That 72,000 can then be used alongside savings to help fund the deposit or cost on the next property. So instead of starting from zero again, you're building on what you already own. And this is why equity speeds up things. Now, instead of just trusting my virtual whiteboard maths here, this is where SuburbsFinder's property analyzer makes this really clear. Let me show you. When I plug that same property into the portfolio analyzer, it automatically pulls in the value, growth assumptions, rent, and loan structure. As we move forward in time, you'll see two key lines on the chart. One shows the property's market value, the other shows your estimated usable equity. That green line is the important one, because that's not total equity. That's the portion a bank may actually allow you to access. So instead of guessing, you can see roughly when usable equity starts to appear. For example, by around year 5, the analyzer might show 72,000 in usable equity, which lines up exactly with the numbers we just worked through. That's when investors can start having options. Now imagine doing this across multiple properties while rents and values keep moving. That's when portfolios starts to snowball. Not because you're earning more money, but because your assets are doing more of the heavy lifting. And this is where most people stop thinking in terms of single properties and start thinking in terms of the portfolio as a system. Because once you own more than one property, the real question isn't just how this one is performing, but it's now how all of this are working together over time. That's why tools like Portfolio Analyzer exist. So you can step back and see how each property is tracking, how your total portfolio value is compounding, and what things might look like in 5, 10, 20, or even 30 years. Not to predict the future perfectly, but to understand direction and timing. And once you start looking at your portfolio this way, something important happens. You start moving in straight lines. Here's why this matters. If you rely only on savings, you move in straight lines. Save, buy, wait, repeat. But equity lets you overlap timelines. Instead of buy, wait 5 years, buy again, you can buy, let growth happen, use that part of growth to help fund the next purchases. That's how some investors move from one property to two, then from two to three, without doubling their income. The hardest step is always the first purchase. After that, momentum starts to build. Now, let's be clear about what this isn't. This isn't about buying blindly. This is not ignoring cash flow, and this is not assuming prices always go up. Equity strategies only work when properties are selected well, risk is managed, and buffers are in place. Use it poorly, equity can amplify mistakes, and use it properly, it can reduce how much new money you need to inject over time. And that's the difference. Property isn't about winning in 1 or 2 years. It's about what happens over 10, 15, or even 20. The longer assets are held, the more compounding has room to work. That's why investors who moved earlier, even imperfectly, often outperforms those who wait for the perfect moment. Not because they're smarter, but because they gave time a head start. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it's this. Most people don't fall behind because they earn less. They fall behind because their strategy depends entirely on savings, not structure. Equity isn't a shortcut, it's a timing tool. And when it's used correctly, it changes what's possible. If this breakdown helped clarify how portfolios actually grow, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. Your likes and subscriptions genuinely help support the channel and allow us to keep creating contents like this. Because understanding how the system works is what helps you keep moving forward. And if you got questions or ideas around scaling a portfolio, drop them in the comments below. It helps start better conversations and helps more people learn. Again, this is Gilbert Melgar, founder of SuburbsFinder. See you in the next video.